All right, Bully World, coming at y'all with another video. We're gonna go over some things for all y'all new breeders. I'm fairly new myself, so I just want to share with y'all a couple of things that I've been through and things that I've learned and things that I've experienced. So we're gonna go over probably about 4 to 5 things that you need to know about and get an understanding on before you start breeding, before you really um, make a real true decision and purchase your first dog, or maybe you already have a dog and you want to get another dog, or you might have a female and you want to breed to a male and get you some puppies and start your litter and get off the ground, or you have a male. But let's just get straight into it. But look, make sure you stay to the end, because the last one is, I feel like, is the most important one. And also go on in, hit that bell and all the stuff that you're supposed to do on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. You know how that go. But anyway, the first one is your vision slash your goal. Like, think about it. With anything that you have in life, you should have a vision, right? You know, you should have goals. With anything. So when you say you're gonna breed these dogs, this thing takes time. um so you need a plan. Like, what is your plan? What type of dogs? It could be American bullies, but if it's American bullies, like, what type is it? Frenchies? Is it exotics? Is it pockets? Is it standards? you know do you have a pocket? What type of pocket? Is it a nano? Is it a micro? Is it a standard? All of these type of things, you know what I'm saying? So you got to think about that. Are you trying to shorten up, your product in the future? Are you trying to get boned up? Like, what is your goal? What do you really, really like? So I would say, start off by consuming a bunch of content and looking at other breeders that have what you like. Attach yourself to a breeder that conducts him or herself in a way that you like, right? Someone that you can do business with and you can talk to, and watch them, watch how they operate and watch how they do things. So um, you can follow behind in their footsteps and kind of do things like them. It's kind of like a mentor. You know what I mean? Even if you might not have a one-on-one experience with them, it can still be like a virtual mentor. You can learn from them. You can watch their content, consume their content, and learn the things that they have to offer just off of their content. You know what I mean? Also, think about this. When it comes to your plan, right? Your vision, because you're gonna hear this a lot in the bully world when they say your vision, your vision, your vision. And I get it, but don't just limit it to the dogs. What is your plan in life with the dogs, right? Are you gonna do this, or is this something that you want to retire on? Or do you just want to, like, sell a couple litters to pay your mortgage or your rent, every month or throughout the year? Is it something like, hey, look, I like dogs. I got a couple dogs. I want to have me 1 or 2 litters. And then with these 1 or 2 litters or 3 litters a year, the money that I get off of it, I might want to use that for a vacation. Things like that, right? So when we think about these things, we have to make a plan and plan these things out for the future. You know what I'm saying? You don't just want to just get into it and don't have a plan. So you definitely want to have a plan. You know, uh Number two. So the second thing is time. Like, do you even have time to do this? Right? Because it takes a lot of time to deal with these dogs. Okay. It takes so much time, is unreal. Like, a lot of when a lot of people, the prices that's really involved with these dogs when it comes to breeding, a lot of people are charging you for their time. You know what I'm saying? Like, what type of job do you have? Do you work for yourself? Uh, do you work a 9 to 5? How much free time do you really have, right? Do you have enough free time to actually How you doing, man? My neighbor, he outside with his dog actually right now. But do you actually have a bunch of, enough free time to even breed these dogs? Because um, it takes time, or because you have to have one-on-one or some type of relationship with your dogs. You don't want to push everything off on everybody else, especially in the beginning. Maybe, as you grow and you learn to breed and you learn the dogs and you learn how to deal with the dogs and learn how to do things, then you might push things off on other people, like, you know, I advise that, and this is just my personal opinion, but I advise that your first litter, you should whelp yourself, because you need to understand what goes into whelping a litter and understand how to take care of these puppies and how to take care of these dogs. But also because you'll know when you do send your litter by a whelper, you know what's into it. And then, number one, you'll be more inclined to pay, right? You'll think twice, like, damn, it is kind of high, but if you've done it yourself, you know what it takes. So it's like, maybe that's not high, but also, everybody's not gonna whelp your litter like you will. So if you know something about whelping, you will know how to vet a whelper. But if you never whelp and you just looked on YouTube the whole time, then it might be kind of hard to, uh, 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 get a whelper. But really think about that. Your time, like, do you have time to? The dog needs to exercise. These dogs need to exercise. These dogs need to go to the vet. These dogs need to be fed. They need to be trained. They need to be, they need, compassion, and companionship, just like, we do. Like, these dogs take a lot of time to deal with. Now, I'm not saying this to be you know, discouraging. It's just, just being honest and just being real. You know what I mean? It's not one of them things you just buy a dog and you just lock them up in the garage, or you just whatever, and then you just got a kennel. Um, it's not that simple. It's not that easy. I kind of went through my own little thing myself. And that's kind of bringing me to my next thing, which is number three, which is help. Right, fam, bully world. You have to have help. Like, you have to have help. Like, you really gotta have help. I have help. I got my wife. I got the kids. They help out a lot. You know what I mean? I'm gone a lot. I'm home more now, but my son, he does a lot. Like, he feeds them a lot. He takes them out a lot. Like, cleaning kennels, feeding dogs, walking them. Especially when you have a litter, you got to go to work. I'm running. Me and my wife runs a real estate business and a trucking business. We got other stuff that we do as well. So sometimes, we do have freedom when it comes down to doing a lot, but at the same time, by we running our own business, we're the boss, so we have to tend to damn near everything that there is, right? So anyway, make a long story short, you definitely have to have help, right? Bringing the dog back and forth to the vet, dealing with litters, going to get supplies, feeding them, walking them, doing all of these type of things. You know what I'm saying? Like, you definitely want to have a team. And even outside of your house, you need help. But that's we can go deeper. This is just a basic video on just the basic things that you kind of need. So which leads me into my next thing. I think is number four, which is space. Right? Where are you doing this at? Are you in an apartment? Are you in a home? If you're in a home, are you dealing with HOA? Are your dogs gonna be outside versus inside? They're gonna be like in a room. Are they gonna be in a garage? Like, you can breed dogs in the apartment if you want to, depending on what type of dogs that you have, which I mean, like, the size and temperaments and stuff like that. How many dogs do you have, right? But do you have, like, land? Do you have space? Like, do you actually have the space to do these things? Now, this is the one that, I was gonna, the last one. And this is the most important one, y'all. You gotta understand this. Real talk. Do you have the finances to do this? This is not cheap at all. It takes money. It do. It takes some good sturdy finances to do this. First of all, if look, check this out. I'm gonna just be real with y'all. If you're new, then that means you've gotten into the game at least in the last, if you didn't got in the game within the last 1 to 2 years, that's when the game. I've been in the game going on 3 years now, of actively trying for litters, and I've had a couple successful litters, sold dogs, so now I'm looking to level up and do other things. So I wouldn't really call myself a seasonal breeder at all. Pay homage to the seasonal breeders out there. I'm not one of them. I'm just sharing one of my experiences as a 2 year in, going on 3 years in. You know what I mean? I think we dropped down like 4 litters and 3 to 4 litters and sold dogs, and now I got my own production on the yard and stuff like that. So we I'm up and coming. You know what I'm saying? So I imagine you're up and coming too as well. So don't let the last 2 years of the numbers fool you on making money with these dogs. Like when you first starting out, you gotta pay for all kind of stuff. You gotta buy the dog, you gotta buy kennels, you gotta, and if you're gonna do it right, especially if you're doing things like how we do it over here at BMBC, we do DNA testing, we traveling to go see these dogs up front. Like our first female, we got way from Arkansas, had to pay the guy to drive down just to bring the dog. Shout out to him, uh, just to bring the dog for us to see the dog. We didn't even, it wasn't even a guarantee we was gonna buy it. We literally just gave him a $500 deposit. And we're in Louisiana, by the way, South Louisiana. So we gave him a $500 deposit, non-refundable, just for him to drive down, just for me to see the dog in person. If I didn't like it, I wasn't gonna get it. But he actually brought two females, and we picked one of them. You know what I mean? So shout out to him. He was Steve. He was a good breeder. He got me in the game. He got a nice farm up there and stuff like that. But yeah, you gotta have the finances. These dogs gotta eat. They're gonna eat depending on how many dogs you got or whatever, whatever. Like they have to eat. They have to go to the vet when it's time to go to the vet. You have to pay for stud fees. You have to like. I don't want to get deep into how you. I'll make another video on basically how what if you're new, what's probably the cheapest way of starting out and how to go about doing that. But yeah, you definitely need the finances. So that's about it, y'all. You know, if you're gonna start your own kennel, if you're starting up now, put in the work. Understand it's like anything else. This thing takes time. You're gonna put a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of long nights, a lot of finances. And I'm not saying none of this to be discouraging. This is me just keeping it real, and just dropping my point of view and things that I've went through and things that I've seen from other breeders and stuff like that. And a real breeder is gonna give you that game, and they're gonna tell you that. Like they're gonna be honest with you and really tell you that. You know what I'm saying? So don't forget to hit the like, comment, and subscribe. Well, I guess you can't hit the comment, but anyway, y'all know what's happening. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna try my best to be dropping gems on here as much as possible. Good, valuable content, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.